Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around. Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Here where we need ya. Here where we need ya. Yeah, the T's in my lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back. All right, give it a stretch. Oh, my back. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, welcome back. All right. Hopefully that last work session was a productive one for you. I'm almost done with the post radio show promo stuff. I'm going to start to post to Blue Sky a little bit more. I saw that you can post videos now, which is pretty dope because I take short clips of the songs that we played and make like compilations, and I post them to Instagram, Threads, Twitter, so all the different accounts that we have for my personal and the radio show stuff. And also, I'm going to post to my personal Blue Sky. So we'll see. All right. Cool. So, all right, for this break session, I figured to take a look at this article that I've had bookmark for a while. And what I'll do is I'll find an article. I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool, and I'll like bookmark it. I keep it in my Keep. I don't know if how many people have like Google or whatever, but there's a product called Keep. You can like share things to it and kind of keep a track of stuff. And you can like also do like lists, and if you want to do a grocery list or things to do or all type of stuff. So I use it as a place to keep different articles I find because you can tag them with certain labels. Cool. And so I saw this article. I'm like, oh, it's pretty dope. And I always go back to things like maybe as I'm about to use it. So I can kind of like look at it and go in more in depth. So I figured that's what I'll do now because I'm working on projects that I want other people to be able to deploy quickly themselves. You know what I'm saying? It's going to do a certain thing that they can deploy wherever they want and then add on top of it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to like lay a foundation down and then they'll be able to do stuff on top of it. And so I wanted to kind of let people be able to kind of have their own color schemes. And I wanted to be as straightforward as possible. Whereas like you said a few, I think they call it brand colors in this article, and it will kind of like change the rest of the site automatically. So that's what I'm thinking about doing. So I want to go over this article, and then so maybe if you found it useful as well, then maybe you can bookmark it in your favorite bookmarking app of choice and come back to it whenever you want. So I'm saving a link to it. So wherever you're watching this video, on the website, they'll be next to the video, recording of the video, so you can check it out for yourself. All right, so let me share this. So the article I'm going to go over is from Adam Argyle. Great last name. I don't know if that's his real name, but that's a great last name. Adam Argyle. And this is from web.dev. Again, a place that I go to for a lot of different stuff to kind of like check out things. All right. So, yeah. So building a color scheme. So that's what I was saying for these projects that I want to make. I want people to be able to add like their own color schemes as easily as possible. You know what I'm saying? So to kind of make it their own. So I figured we'll check this out. So a foundational overview of how to establish a dynamic and configurable color scheme. Exactly what I was looking for. So in this post, I want to share thinking on ways to manage multiple color schemes in CSS. And you can try the demo. Let me see. Let's see if you want to check out the demo. All right, let me share this tab instead. All right, so yeah, so let's say this is the project I created, right? And I want people to be able to change it up if they want, right? So here's like the brand color, and here's the text color 1 and text color 2. All right, you can kind of see it. The brand color isn't showing here. Maybe, but we'll check out light, which I guess this is light. Check out dark. All right. I guess the brand color would be like if you had a thing like a hyperlink or something. And then dim. All right. And then auto, depending on whatever your browser is set to. Cool. Very nice. Let me go back to here. All right, so they have the example here. You can check it out. All right, then if you prefer video, here's a YouTube version of it. Dope. Now the overview. So we'll build an accessible, which is super important, color scheme with custom properties and calc. Now, I've been saying this for a minute. CSS is becoming like a programming language. It's kind of amazing. Where custom properties or CSS variables, so they have variables, and then you can calculate things now. And there's some other stuff that's coming up. Like you could do, what was it, like trigonometry or something. Yeah, remember, like sine, cosine, tangent, all this stuff. Kind of amazing stuff. And so, yeah, it's becoming like a programming language, which I'm here for that. All right, so we're going to use these things to make a web page that's adaptive to user preferences while keeping the authoring experience minimal. We start with a base brand color and build a system of variants from it. 2 text colors, 4 surface colors, and a matching shadow. Cool. So this guide begins with defining all the colors for each color scheme up front. Not until the very end are they used to change the page. So you do all the thing up front. That's pretty dope. All right, cool. So the brand, right? So often a brand color has already been established and is delivered as hex or RGB. This GUI challenge has a base brand color of hashtag pound 0AF. Hey, that's funny. 0AF. Firstly, for this color system, the hex value needs converted to HSL. Okay. So, all right, so they have the brand color. So this is for everything. And then I didn't know you could do both. So, HSL and brand as RGB and HSL. All right, cool. So in order to enable a concept of darkening or lightening the brand color by say 20%, the 3 channels of the HSL color value need extracted into their own custom properties like this. So again, so these are like CSS variables or custom properties like mentioned before. So all right, so we have the brand hue 200 here. All right, and then we have the saturation, cool, which is the 100, and then we have the lightness, which is the 50. So again, HSL, hue, saturation, lightness. All right, cool. Can you have all that together, or does it have to be separate? Interesting. I'm not sure. They might be like a final, that everything all together at the end, I think. So CSS can do math. Again, amazing. It's basically like a programming language on those color properties, for example. So here's the calc, the variable, and then you have the brand lightness, and you're subtracting 20% like they mentioned here. So if you want to darken or lighten, so we're going to darken, I guess, right? Because it's 20%. So you even have like the 20%. That's pretty dope because it knows it's 50% minus 20%. It's going to give you 30%. Yay. To decrease the lightness value by 20%. So if you wanted it to be lighter or darker, you can change this. Or if you want to start from the brand, you could do that from there. So instead of having to go through, that's pretty dope. This is foundational building a color scheme, as CSS can keep all colors in the same hue family by adjusting the HSL saturation and lightness amounts. So that's dope. So you don't have to worry about like trying to find colors around the color. Like it'll just do it for you by changing with the hue, saturation, and lightness. Pretty dope. So we have the light theme. So each color variant will be marked with its matching scheme. In this case, each is appended with -light. All right. So then we have like, okay, so like brand -light. All right. So starting with the brand color is rebuilt by wrapping brand hue, brand saturation, and brand lightness custom properties inside the HSL. Okay. Oh, okay. Function parentheses without any calculations. Okay. So then, okay. So yeah. So what you'll end up with is instead of doing like this here, right? You're converting this now to use these. So I guess you're only going to have these things here. Interesting. But then for your brand light is this. Okay. So all that was just this one set of things here. That's pretty dope. All right. So I guess you're starting off saying that, all right, this is going to be like my light theme, I'm guessing. So I guess starting off with whatever your light theme is, so then you can do this. All right, cool. All right. So text colors. So next, the essentials of a color scheme need text colors. In a light theme, text should be very dark. Notice how the lightness of the following colors is low, well under 50%. So the lightness again, so the lightness was 50%, right? So they're going to make it darker. So we have the text one light. So we have the HSL. And then, so they just set it to 10%. So instead of like subtracting like they did before with here, right, for the lightness, they just set it. Interesting. All right, cool. And then text 2 light. So I don't know a lot about like hue, saturation, and lightness, all that stuff. I still got to look into that. But like, so they're keeping the hue of the color, but they're darkening because before the saturation was 100%, which I think gives like the full color, I think. And then like the light, depending on lightness or darkness. And then, so they're bringing that down more, oops, right here, 30%. And then the darkness is 30%, whereas here it's darker, you know what I'm saying, but through a combination of these. All right, so then that's the light. So this is what it looks like here. So what's wild is that these are all the same like color, but messing with the hue, saturation, lightness, you get like what look like be different colors. That's cool. So based on your brand, that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. By setting like the one brand, you have all those things. That's pretty cool. Okay. All right. So yeah, so text one light, since it's very dark at 10% lightness, keeps the heavy 100% saturation so that the brand color can still peek through into the dark navy. Okay. Yeah, so to me that looks like black. So, all right. Cool. All right. So note, most users won't be able to tell you it's not black again, but they will notice it feels harmonious somehow. All right. The secret is to reserve black and white exclusively for brightest highlights and darkest shadows. See, all sorts of tips. Very nice. All right. So then text two light is not quite as dark as the first color, which is good as it is a secondary color and also much less saturated. Yes. All right. Now, surface colors. So surface colors are the backgrounds, borders, and other decorative surfaces that text sits upon or within. In a light theme, these are the light colors, as opposed to the text colors, which were very dark. To create light colors, with HSL, we'll use higher percentage values in the third lightness value. Okay. In the third lightness. Oh, right here. So the lightest one here. So in the third, what? Hold on. Light colors with HSL, we'll use higher percentages values. Oh, in the third lightness value. Okay, not in the like the third lightness value, but like in the third space, which is the lightness value. Okay. We'll also lower the saturation so the light grays don't look too tinted. See, these are all things I never would have thought of. And so you can see they're doing this here. So these are almost like the value from here, from the 30%, but it's even less saturation, but the lightness is set to high. And so you can see that here. So wow, this one is like basically white. So hold on. So let me see that second one. Yeah, see, it's 99% lightness, and the saturation is brought down. That's wild. So just from changing, like, so these all have the same saturation, but because of the lightness values, you get those. All right. That's pretty dope. Okay. And then 1 and 3 are like almost the same, but like most of the difference because it's 20, but see, they almost have the same lightness, but because of the saturation. Wow, that's wild. Didn't know you could do all this stuff. And then, so yeah, so forest surface colors were created since decorative colors tend to need more variance for interactive moments like focus or hover, or to create the appearance of paper layouts in these scenarios. It's nice to transition surface 2 light on hover to surface 3 light. All right. So a hover results in an increase in contrast, 90% lightness to 92% lightness. So if you're going from 2 to 3, yeah, so again, from 99 to 92. So making it darker when you hover over it. That's pretty dope. Now, shadows within a color scheme are above and beyond, but so you really don't, I guess, need these. So shadows within a color scheme are above and beyond. It's really new, but add a lifelike nature to the effect and helps it stand out from unrealistic black-based shadows. Okay, to do this, the color of the shadow will use the hue custom property, all right, from the brand, be slightly saturated, so they brought it down to 10%, with the hue, but still very dark. So the 20%, making that super dark. Okay. Essentially building a very dark, slightly blue shadow. All right. And they only have like one shadow. So in the shadow strength light. Oh, interesting. What's that about? Shadow strength light is not wrapped in an HSL function. This is because the shadow strength value will be combined to create some opacity. Oh, damn. Okay. And CSS needs these pieces in order to perform calculations. Again, basically a programming language. Skip to the rad shadow section to learn more. So you can check that out more on this site. Pretty dope. So light colors all together. So no need to hunt around to find how any of the light colors are made. They are all in one place in the CSS. That's pretty dope. So that's how I look after everything. But then again, you still make sure to set, the brand hue, saturation, and the lightness like we showed before. So that would go somewhere that go above this. Nice. And then they talk about the dark theme, which is super cool. So they go through that. And then I think they talk about like switching between them, I think. So here's the dark theme. Here's the dim stuff. So accessible colors, they talk about that. So how to make them accessible. It's pretty dope. There's that rad shadow section they're talking about. All right. So yeah. So okay, here we go. We like the roots. Yeah, you set the surface light to be that thing, and there. Oh, this is still for the rad shadow thing. All right. So using of the color schemes, and they kind of like walk you through that. So the light. So you can set the color scheme to be like light, and then like I said before, you set the brand, light, value, all these things. So they kept, instead of having like, so this is the default. So before they had like hyphen, like text one hyphen light. You know what I'm saying? Oh wait, no. Oh no, wait. Oh no, they do have the same brand hyphen light. All this stuff here that they set somewhere else. Yes, but they're setting like at the root the what do you call it? Oh, my brain is fried. The variables to be used throughout your project, because in your project you're going to have like just brand text one, text two, not necessarily brand light, text one light, text light two. That because you'd have to change it all throughout your thing. But in your project, you're going to have these, not like the light or dark variants. And then so yeah, but then what you can do is if they prefer color scheme dark, then you change the root. So you have the color scheme dark, and then you set the variables. So you don't have to set all on the different elements that you have, where you have it set with like the brand or the text one or text two or surface properties. You know what I'm saying? All right, dope. And then if you want to set, if the color scheme is light, then you do that. That's cool. And then the same thing, if the color scheme is dark, do that. And then if it's dim, again, it's using the color scheme dark, but it's using the dim stuff here. All right, cool. And then you can check it out here. All right, so let me, so the post CSS stuff. So yeah, so you see in the HTML, they're setting it here. And then they're setting it, start off with the light colors here. So they're setting the light, setting the dark values, the dim values. And then at the root, they're setting as a default the color scheme to be light. And so they're setting all the different, setting defaults. And then if they prefer dark, then we're going to set the root to dark. Okay. And then if the browser detects that it's a light scheme, then it's going to do this. If it's a dark scheme, do that. And if it's dim, do that. That's pretty dope. All right. So yeah. So again, if you want to check out more on how, they did the dark and the dim, again, I suggest checking out the article. Super dope. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'd like to see. So when it's come time for me to start implementing it into these projects, I'll have a good reference point to check out. All right. And I'm going to learn more about the hue, saturation, and lightness as well, too. So that was pretty dope. All right. Cool. I'm going to get y'all back to work. Again, thanks for hanging out. I'm going to send you all off with some traveling music. And I'm wanting to finish up these post-radio show promo stuff so I can get that done. Maybe do some coding. But whatever it is that you're working on, hopefully you make some progress. I'm going to send you all off with this traveling music. This right here is Anthony Cruz, a.k.a. A Butter. The track is called Thank You. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you 15 minutes after the hour. Till then, I wish you much productivity. All right. We'll take a look at an artist's website, maybe listen to music, watch some videos. Maybe you'll become a fan. All right. Thanks again for hanging out. Catch y'all around. Y'all be easy. And peace.
I want to say thank you for holding on. When a brother was down and out, now I feel so strong. And I want to say thank you for being there. When a brother had nowhere to turn to, you were there. And I feel like, yeah. And everybody says, yeah. We spread love like, yeah. I want to say thank you for holding on. When a brother was down and out, now I feel so strong. And I want to say thank you.